What's up, my friends? 21-4 run. Hopefully, these picks find you well today and we get more W's. Starting with Jonas Valanciunas in a very unconventional first half pick on Prize Picks. Now, y'all will have betting picks and parlays next, along with another Prize Pick play or two. So stick around. Let's go. So these two teams have already faced off twice on November 20th and 22nd. And Jonas had 21 and 13 first half PRA. Last season faced twice, had 18 and 17 PRA. So he's had 13 plus in all four matchups over the last two seasons. Now, he also hit the over in just under 70% of the games last year in the first half. And this season, same exact trend rate, just about 68%. I think he's 14 of 21 this year. However, we've been missing Larry Nance in and out of the lineup for the past about 20 games. And in those games, we've seen nonstop action from Jonas Valanciunas getting extra minutes. And we know that minutes equal opportunity. Opportunity equals production when you're a decent player in the NBA. So with Larry Nance in and out of the lineup, because he has played 3 games out of this 12-game sample size, Jonas Valanciunas has actually had 13 or more first half PRA in 12 straight games. So we have a guy here in Jonas who has had 13 plus, and we only need 12 for the push, but 13 plus in 12 straight games. He's hit the over in about 2/3 of his games over the last 2 years, and he's 4 for 4 against the Kings over the last 2 seasons as well. All the trends, all the data. We have no markets or odds to assess value on this play. But again, that's why I said it was unconventional. Scared money don't make money. Going in on this play, I like it a lot. And now I'm going to bounce back and forth NBA and NFL today. And if you like this video and all the picks you're getting and all the value, and then at the end of the video where I do some optimizer shopping, please hit the like button. Helps me grow the channel. Free content. Line your pockets. You help me grow the channel. It's a great deal. High five. That's so stupid. All right, Evan Ingram over 4.5 receptions. This one's juiced like crazy on the books. He's actually had 4+ catches in all 11 games this season, which is kind of nutty. So even if he does miss out tonight, he's at least going to give you a nice sweat. It's not going to be a bad one. He's had 5+ in the other 8 games. I think what I like the most in this play is really the target opportunities. It's 7+ targets in every single game this year, but 1. And he finished with 6 targets in that game. Now, I watched last week's game quite a bit because I was with my brother-in-law. We had like the quad TV going for YouTube, had some Jacksonville parlays in there. So we focused on that game a lot. We saw Evan Ingram, I believe it was 8 targets. He had 5 catches. The 3 that were not catches were totally erratic throws, like just missing him. 2 of them, he was like wide open. 1 of them should have been a touchdown. So we were sitting there super tilted. And then finally he had the 5th catch because we had the over 4.5 receptions. I remember that now. Degenerates, man. We remember everything. It's like a firstborn child. It's like, you know exactly what happened, where you were. It's like, oh yeah, Evan Ingram, his 5th catch. I was sitting over here on the weight bench. There was no space on the couch. We had chips and salsa in the corner. It was a little rain outside. My knees were hurting. And then he had the catch at the 19-yard line on 3rd and 7. 7 seconds left in the 4th. We remember everything. It's pathetic. Let's look at the odds. Check it out. This is kind of nutty. So I'm back to the optimizer, showing you this right now. I'm going to go full screen so you're not missing out. Optimizer looks pretty nice. So I'm going to talk about this Jaylen Brown play in a minute. So if you're sticking around, please trust me. I'm going to give you a lot more picks and value. So I'm switching to NFL. I've got optimizer. Yes. Highest to lowest. Yes. Select market. I could. Receptions, all this stuff. Sure. We'll go through this for some NFL picks as well. Look, there's some good plays already popping off. Ooh, look at the value in the Jamar Chase under 5.5%. Oh my goodness. Pinnacle minus 140. I know this is off track. We're going to circle back. But wow. Well, check it out. 57.63% implied probability that Evan Ingram ends up with 5 receptions today. 5 or more. Straight pick on flip. The best. Oh, actually, BetMGM best value remaining at minus 120. I'm actually probably going to take that officially. Post that in Discord as a straight pick. That is delicious on MGM. And then we've got, wow, look at PrizePicks, man. Just gifting us 1, 2, 3 plays near the top of the implied probability. This is, oh my, we could put together a 5 pick with ease today. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at this live for the first time, my friends. Honestly, this is kind of nutty how much value there is. And honestly, if you want to look at it yourself, mysparry.com down below, click it in the comments. And if you can't remember it, my gosh, my Sparry, S-P-A-R-I, mysparry.com. You can use this optimizer. As you see, you can find some value. You can find some value unbelievable opportunities today. I kind of like the fact that Jamar Chase is under in a game with a 40-point total. They're 10-point underdogs. Evan Ingram, maybe it was a little touch and go to take the over 4.5 on sports books because, heck, if Jacksonville is blowing them out, then maybe Travis Etienne is just going bonkers, rushing a bunch of touchdowns. They don't need to throw it. So maybe you fade it on sportsbooks, but these are very nice fixed price plays. That means essentially there are no odds involved, and you get higher probability plays on your PrizePicks slip, your underdog, parlay play, and sleeper plays. Rather than taking like 4 or 5 plus 110s, minus 105s, you could take 3 or 4 minus 136, minus 136, minus 139 average plays and use them on PrizePicks. Much better than doing the exact opposite of doing the lowest to highest and grabbing plays like this and slamming them on PrizePicks. The 50% probability, like a 50-50. Basically, the odds are saying this is a 50-50 that Luke Farrell has over 5.5 receiving yards or Trevor Lawrence has under 3.5 rushing attempts. Why would you line your PrizePicks lineup with a bunch of 50-50 plays when you can have plays, 4 or 5 of them, that are like 58%, 57% probability factors? And my gosh, that was a good example. I feel like I found a good one. So anyways, there it is. We have Evan Ingram, minus 130 Flip, minus 140 DK, minus 146 FanDuel, minus 142 Caesars, minus 145 on Pinnacle, sharpest book out there. Straight pick on BetMGM. I'm officially taking that, just slapped a couple units on that. And then, of course, on PrizePicks, yes, I am taking the over 4.5 receptions on PrizePicks for Evan Ingram. Now, check this out. I've got a couple plays for you here. First one's going to be Jason Tatum. These are premium picks inside the Dub Club. Now, here's the odds finder. I was using this last night before I went to bed. I was kind of scrolling through the basketball games for Monday, and I was trying to find any value that stuck out. And oh my goodness, I love this one. So the first thing I saw here was, wow, Pinnacle's at minus 149. BetMGM's at minus 120. So I started scanning across the books. Caesars minus 145. FanDuel said, you ain't getting it at 43.5. DK minus 130 to the over, and then Flip minus 130. And then I went and started looking at the actual matchup. Jason Tatum, I was like, oh my gosh, he plays the Indiana Pacers, fastest team in the NBA, allowing 1 billion points per game. In fact, they're dead last, 125.8 points per game. Awful, awful team right now. Now, Jason Tatum has not been hitting the over very much at all this season. Just has not been a good number at 43.5. He's only hit the over in a third of his games out of 19 games. However, we still have no Kristaps Porzingis. Should this game stay close and competitive, then I think he has every opportunity to just go absolutely bonkers. We'll see probably one of those 20 field goal attempt games. And when we get up there towards 18 plus field goals, that's when he starts to smash this over. And the matchup is just absolutely fantastic. You can't ask for a better one. Played Indy 3 times over the last 2 years where he took 18 plus field goal attempts. And I'm using that as the average because honestly, my friends, if you go back to the last 2 seasons of basketball, my man is averaging over 20 field goal attempts. So I figured 18 was a nice low end of the projection. Even this year, he's averaging 19.1. So yes, it is down a field goal attempt, but the production just hasn't followed. I expect it to follow again tonight with no Kristaps. Great matchup, fast paced. So I took it over 43.5, and I used the odds finder. Very easy. I call it an odds finder. You call it an optimizer, but I use this just browsing plays. And I tell people, listen, yes, you can select individual sites. You want to look at only sleeper and the best plays on sleeper? Well, there you go. Jaylen Brown, over 2.5 player assists, the number 1 play on sleeper based on the implied probability. That is the very best. However, I'm not a huge fan of just staring at one book at a time. Yes, go ahead. Choose sleeper. Choose only PrizePicks. You can do that and then go through and pick out the best plays per the math based on only these odds, only PrizePicks, and these 6 sports books. But personally, give me this view. I want to see all 4 DFS sites, all 6 sports books. I want to see all the implied probabilities. I want to see everything. And yeah, it's maybe a bit tedious, but not to me. I scroll down and I'm just looking for those half numbers. And when they stick out like this, I realize, oh my gosh, this is an extremely great opportunity. And here's why. Look at all the probabilities here. 59, 59.3, 59.39, whatever. You don't even get these offered on these DFS apps. And if you do, look, they're rounded numbers. They're bumped lines. These 5.5 to the under, they're 5s. This 4.5 to the over, that's a 5. And then you get this 2.5 to the over, crazy juiced. Leaving it at 2.5, I can see, because I left the select pick'em site view, like all of them, I can see that this is just insanely valuable right here. Just a tremendous upside play. I don't even look at this on sportsbooks for a straight pick, but I can see, my gosh, what a glorious value this is on these types of sites like Underdog. Then I keep scrolling down and I see, oh, look at that sleeper, Herbert Jones, over under 2.5 assists. Oh, there you go. Look at that. That's 2 plays already on sleeper at 58.64% implied probability for Herbert Jones and at 59.14% for Jaylen Brown. That's a nice little 2-pick parlay action that you could roll out on sleeper if you're playing just the math. Nothing else. You don't care about anything else. You're just playing the math game. Well, then that right there, my folks, is a really nice way to bet on these apps. As you scroll down, you'll find more and more opportunities. And sometimes you'll find interesting spots like this, where I see this Julius Randle play at 9-0 on Underdog Fantasy, but check it out. I go over here and I start researching. Well, Fliff, crazy juice. DK, well, that's okay. Minus 130, I don't mind it too much. Well, look at FanDuel, minus 125, not bad. Caesars, MGM, Pinnacle, the sharp one that I like to compare everything to, in the minus 140s. This kind of looks like a value against the Bucks. Julius Randle under 9.5 boards. It's up to you. You might want to go look at the data and research it. But if you're taking that play, I saw quickly that was the best odds. The minus 125 just stuck out in the middle of all of these juiced lines. And sometimes when you're scrolling through, you'll find here's another one. Look at this. Julius Randle, same player, over 4.5 assists. Well, look at this. Minus 155 on Fliff, minus 140, minus 148, minus 140, minus 143 in Pinnacle. So literally, you're getting 15 cents cheaper here on DK to take the over 4.5 assists on Julius Randle. And I'm just scrolling down, and these like minus 120, sometimes you'll get like a minus 118 on like a play where everyone else has it juiced. And that's just a bargain, an absolute bargain when you find those. So you can shop like crazy here. I mean, golly, Derek White over 23.5 PRA. Look at this. So juiced. Okay, fair odds. But Pinnacle, man, we want to use this as kind of like the indicator of where the markets will go. Well, then if this is true and the rest of these lines do move towards Pinnacle, if that trend comes to fruition, then you have a really nice opportunity here in Derek White over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You can do this all day on your own with mysparry.com. Here's that. I just talked about that example. Minus 130, minus 131, minus 140, bang, minus 115. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. Do your line shopping, do your odd shopping this way, or select individual sites if you'd like to. Let's keep going. I got more plays. This stream, this daily show, I hope is just an immense value for you. I'm going to show you more plays, so don't go anywhere. I just want to be able to show the upside of using mysparry.com, the optimizer, reading the articles on the site, using the free tools. There's a parlay builder on there. You guys can do all the things you want with it. I released 3 parlay builder articles this week, and they're called like NBA parlay picks 12-2, NBA parlay picks 12-3, NFL parlay picks week 13. Posted them on the website. They're good add-ons to parlays. They're plays that you could look to see if you can find on chalkboard. So there's upside of reading the articles on the website. You can use the parlay builder. You can use the optimizer. It's all free. mysparry.com. Now, here's another premium pick. I took Brandon Ingram over 20.5 points, and I posted that last night as well. Here's what I posted in Discord. I said I was optimizing. I was using the odds finder to value shop, and this one stuck out like crazy. First off, I was sorting by the implied probability. It was 57.04. It was like maybe the 11th or 12th option on the board at the time. It was a very small board at like midnight. Brandon Ingram, I saw bumped, sleeper 20.5. So it's like, okay, let me go ahead and scan the rest of the plays, because once we have some books that are bumping, some that are leaving, that means the plays are trending in a certain direction. Same with Bruce Brown right underneath this. The 7.5 juice to the under. Well, it got bumped on parlay play. Underdog probably going to move it. And Brandon Ingram here, I slid over. And I was like, okay, Fliff, 20.5 minus 130. Not bad. Oh, interesting. DK said, you ain't getting over 20.5. We're bumping this up to 21.5. FanDuel said, you're not even getting 21.5. We're moving this to 22.5. Caesars and MGM said you can have it there, but we're juicing you like crazy. We're going to tax you. You're not going to get much money if you take these 2 plays. Pinnacle said same thing. So I see 2 books that said, nope, you ain't getting 20.5. FanDuel moving it by 2 lines, and all the rest of the books juicing it almost 20 cents higher, and then flipped, leaving it hanging there. Some low-hanging fruit, deliciousness, minus 130. I will sip that little juice box at 20.5 on Fliff. So I took Brandon Ingram. I looked into the data. I also liked it. Again, I think both worlds need to collide to make a good play. You got to have the data-driven approach, and you got to take the odds finder approach. You got to make sure the two go well together. So Brandon Ingram over 20.5, Jason Tatum over 43.5, Evan Ingram over 4.5, and then Jonas Valanciunas over 12 for the first half PRA. That's 4 official picks, my friends. 21-4, about to be 25-4 run. Now, let's go right to the optimizer and let's shop. Let's find some W's. And I want to highlight all this value. I've already begun to highlight some of this today. Here's another one. Kevin Durant. This one kind of sticks out. Over 6.5 boards against the Lakers. You could take that as a straight pick on FanDuel, minus 120. Look at all 5 books after that. Juicing, minus 130 up to minus 145. That's an interesting play. Tyrese Haliburton, if he's playing tonight, over 3.5 boards against the Boston Celtics. Straight pick on FanDuel, minus 118. Very nice value there on Underdog, over 3.5. Just screams bargain. So look into some of these plays as we're going through them. You're going to want to do some research. Don't blindly take these. I mean, look at how many plays I've skipped. I'm just kind of reading some off. Again, like this Julius Randle play, let's circle back and do a little research on it and see if that minus 125 is worth taking. And then listen, if you're on chalkboard, parlay play, you guys use promo code Donuts. Use promo code Donuts. You guys can get sometimes some lower lines, some alternate lines, or use the slider and make it 9.5. Totally up to you with how you want to use it. At 9.5 this year, I will say this. He has hit the over in 12 of 19. The last 4 times he's faced Milwaukee, he actually faced them on November 3rd, and he had 12 boards. So he's at 12, 8, 16, and 12. So honestly, data-wise, and on top of that, Milwaukee giving up the 9th most rebounds in the NBA. Listen, the data screams over 9.5. The odds are saying the bettors are taking the under. Underdog said, nope, you ain't having it there. So maybe, think it through, maybe the play's taking over 9 on Underdog. If you're not going to play the math and you just want to be like, well, listen, the data says 9 is a key number here. That's not a bad play, especially against a team he's done very well against in the rebound department. Well, then you take the over 9 on Underdog, and then over 9.5, you'll probably get at plus odds. So let's actually take a peek. I'm going to type in Randall. There's Julius Randle. I'm going to grab his rebound, and I'm looking for the overs. Here, I'm going to turn off the implied probability. It's nice and organized. Just lumps them together, over, under, over, under. There it is. So we have the over 9.5 boards. If you like it, it is plus odds virtually everywhere you go. Best odds would be Pinnacle, but best odds stateside plus 105 on MGM. You fluffernutters can get it there at over 9.5 plus 100. Math wise, no edge against the books at all. However, the data kind of says that's a very interesting play. So dig into it, research it yourself, do what you want with that information. Maybe the play is to go to the 14.5. Is it 14.5? And grab the combined rebounds and assists, because we know that, Julius Randle can rack up assists. We had him last game. We took his assist prop. He had 9. So he's been dishing the basketball very well. He's over in 8 of his last 10, the over 4.5 assists. Maybe you just go to the assist category. My goodness. I mean, I'm looking at the data now, and he's actually hit the over on his assists in 3 of 4 games versus Milwaukee. He's red hot. It's bumped on these 2 books. Let's see. We get DK minus 125. Ha! I just talked myself into it. That is wild. I actually really like this play. He hit the over earlier this season. He's hit the over in 10 of the last 12 games. He's averaging 5.5 on the year. I looked at his potential assist a couple weeks ago. It was quite high for Julius Randle. It was like 8.8 or something. That's a really nice play. And that is one I found via the odds finder live. Just kind of browsing plays, realizing, look, all the books are juicing this like crazy. And then look at the value I get for Julius Randle on DraftKings, over 4.5 assists. MySparry.com. Do this on your own. You can research right now when this video ends. You go to MySparry.com or click the comments section. You got to go to the pinned comment section. By the way, leave your questions in the YouTube comments, I've answered like 90% of them. What I do is I go to my Discord, I answer all my Discord tags and pings. I make sure my members are taken care of. I come back to YouTube and I answer or reply to everybody who is gracious enough to leave me a comment, a pleasant comment, a negative. It doesn't matter. I'm going to respond to you unless you're crazy trolling, but I'm going to respond to you. I'm going to engage with you. I'm thankful for that engagement. And I want to be able to take care of my community in every way I can, whether you're in Discord, Twitter, YouTube, wherever it is, I'm there for you. So make sure you grab that link, mysparty.com, do your odds shopping, do your optimizing on your own, and then drop a comment, and I'll answer any questions you might have about using this if you don't happen to be inside my Discord. Matter of fact, I was going to keep going for NFL and show you some of that with the optimizer, but I need to edit this video. I need to publish it. So if you're watching this now, I cut it short like a little after 8 o'clock, 8:20ish, and I want to make it live. There's a lot of value. I feel like I talked about a lot. I gave away four premium picks that I had posted inside Dub Club. So you have some 4 premiums. That's what I count as the 21-4 record. Luckily on YouTube, out of my last 25 picks, 21 of them have been W's. So you get the premiums here, a little bit of taste on YouTube. And then, of course, there's probably about 80% more inside Dub Club from just me. Then you got 8, 9, 10 other cappers, depending on the sports season going. And some of them are absolutely red hot right now. So grab their channels inside Dub Club. It's $14.99. Very cheap. $14.99 to sign up. That's less than $15. That's 2 lattes from your favorite coffee shop. So a full month of access. And again, use myspray.com. Get yourself paid. I'll see you in the inside today, my friends. Have a good one.